And now, views and interviews from the world of technology. Coming up, Sky News Tech Talk with Holloman.
So my name's Simon Nicholson. I work for Honda Motor Europe as social media manager. So I'm responsible for social media across Europe for Honda. So as it's Honda, that means it's cars, bikes, power equipment, a nice wide range.
How do you keep track of ROI?
So ROI for me is obviously it's very key. How I feel we should kind of measure it is within campaigns. So I think where a lot of organisations get unstuck is where they're looking at ROI on social across the whole board. So whereas I feel you have a social foundation, whereas your ability to engage, your ability to listen, and then from that you can launch your campaigns. So rather than thinking, oh, here's a social campaign, thinking it's quite gimmicky, here's your campaign, you're using social to make it work well, you've got your sharing functions, your content's backed up with the research you've done in listening to know what the consumers want, and then it's looking at that kind of ROI of that particular campaign. Where hopefully, if you've done your social right and you've done your research and you've put in the right kind of social user experience, then you will get more back from your investment in that campaign, whether it is people converting into sales or more awareness from the sharing aspects. So that's key for me. And then there's a lot of things which are hard to track, where it's you're putting in social structures where it increases collaboration and you're coming up with new campaigns which you may not have done before. So that's where the kind of a grey area is, because without this you wouldn't have been able to come up with the campaigns, but can you really attribute it? So where I'd like to go is full attribution. So we're looking at if someone's got an issue with their car, they might contact us on Twitter, we sort out the issue for them, they're happy afterwards. We then go and we track them later to see if they've actually kind of purchased a new vehicle or a motorcycle, just to make sure that we can attribute that great customer service that we've done on social media through to any kind of money we will get, revenue streams. So that's the challenge for the future. And for me now, it's putting in the structures that eventually we'll be able to track. And that's when we can really say, here's social's ROI, because we'll be able to track it across the board.
Do you see a problem with driving traffic to Facebook over your own website, where you control the experience?
Yeah, I think there's two different aspects there. I think when someone's going to the website, maybe it's very kind of factual. You're there to find the information about the car. So perhaps, depending on the kind of advertisement it is, you might not be ready there to kind of jump in with the sale. Something that I hate is kind of salespeople just jumping at your throat trying to make the sale. So I think there's the benefit there where you're taking them to a more kind of community-based setting, where they can kind of experience other people's opinions of the cars, and it's much more of a kind of social proof rather than us set. Like, obviously, every car manufacturer is going to say on their website, "Oh, our car's really great," but it's when you go into the communities and then say, read that actually all these people have had a really fantastic experience. These are the features they like. Here's the sort of things which we're engaging with our communities, and it's not just a car purchase. That's where I see the benefit of sending to somewhere like Facebook, or even if it's some kind of a dedicated microsite, which is a little bit different to how your kind of website experience is.
As brands get more sophisticated in intercepting conversations about their brand, for example, is there a risk that customers want to stay away from that? They get afraid, intimidated by the fact that someone knew they were talking about, for example, a Honda Civic, and they were not anticipating you to say something about that?
I think there's kind of two issues there. It's how close do you get as a brand when you're doing the listening, and it's again in the same kind of, if you bring it back to a relationship, there's a close relationship and then there's uncomfortably close. So it's actually finding that balance as a company, and I think that's based in your kind of the brand perception that you want to have. So you may have some companies which decide that they want to be quite distant. You have more which kind of want to engage more. And Honda is one of those companies. We want to engage more. We want to talk about our product. We want to talk about the consumer's interests. But you don't want to get too close to someone's kind of private life. So it's drawing that line between where people are kind of talking about you, and you can respond and you can be helpful. Or if someone's got a complaint, most of the time they're happy that I'd say that the brand has heard their issue, or if it's said something in praise, and then the brand comes back, oh, thank you for saying this. It's a kind of a rewarding experience.
Sky News Tech Talk, in association with First Tuesday, the UK's largest network for high-growth technology companies and their investors. For free membership, visit firsttuesday.org.uk.